From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBIC, the PrimeTime Capper, and it is time for the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles Live, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It is Friday, the best day of the week. So, we got a whole lot of sports going on tonight. We got a lot of college basketball tonight. We got a lot of college football tonight, and we got the NBA tonight as well, too. So, hey, it's a jam-packed night. There's some very exciting games. So, where do we land at first? We have the CFB Friday Night Lights. Now, Friday Night Lights consist of 5 games tonight, and the first one up tonight is going to be the Louisiana Tech and Southern Mississippi game. This is a rivalry game. Arch rivals at that as well. Two of these teams have been pretty much attached at the hip with each other for a very long time now. Now, when you look at this, both these teams are having down years as well. You have a Louisiana Tech team that's 3-7, trying to protect their house tonight. And then you have Southern Mississippi, who a few years back was a team that you could really, really give, the Power 5 teams fits. Well, certain Power 5 teams fits. Well, it's not like that anymore. This team is 1-9 on the season. Now, Southern Mississippi is 2-8 against the spread this year. They've also won under in 8 out of their 10 games as well. They're 0-5 straight up on the road, 1-4 against the spread on the road. They've won under in 4 out of their 5 games on the road. They in conference, they're 0-6 straight up, 1-5 against the spread, and then they have went under in 5 out of their 6 games here in the Conference USA. Then Louisiana Tech, 4-6 against the spread this year. And then they've went over in 7 out of their 10 games this year as well, too. And then you have them 3-2 straight up at home, 2-3 against the spread at home. And they have went over all 5 contests at home as well, too. Now, when you look at them in conference, they're 2-4 straight up. 1-5 against the spread, and 3-3 when it comes to the over and under. Now, when I look at this, when I see this game, I see that Louisiana Tech has way too many points in this game. Yes, I know Southern Mississippi's not that great, but they did play the best team in the conference last week and wound up losing that game by 10 points, covering, in fun fashion. So I'm going to say that the momentum rose into this week, and they played against far better. And when you compare both of their matchups with San Antonio, Louisiana Tech got blew away. Southern Mississippi lost by 10. That's kind of what I'm using a barometer for, and I think that this should be a Southern Miss cover tonight. And you could feel a little froggy and get yourself a plus 550 money line tonight as well, too. This is the Conference USA, and this conference has produced big winners just like that. In spots just like these. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but it is going to be tough for the road team tonight. I just want to say, go ahead and try to cover this game. That's exactly what I'm thinking that should go down. And also, you do have a favorable over under. And as I just gave you guys the information, Louisiana Tech has went over in all their home games as well too. So 48.5 is not that bad of points. All right, so we move on to Air Force in Nevada, and Air Force in Nevada, pretty good. And this is pretty much going to settle the Mountain West tonight, the West Division tonight. So, this game is really good. You got 2 teams, both 7-3 tonight, and then you have an Air Force team that's been very good, coming off a big rival win over their rival as well too last week, Colorado State. They're 6-4 against the spread. They've went under in 6 out of their 10 games this year. They're 4-0 on the road against the spread and straight up, and they're 2-2 when it comes to the over and under. Now they've covered 4 out of their 5 games in the Mountain West, and they're 4-1 straight up in conference as well too. And then they've went under in 3 out of their 5 games as well too this season. Now Nevada comes in here 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 over and under. 3-2 against the spread at home, 5-0 straight up at home, 3-2 over and under at home, and then also straight up they're 4-2 in the Mountain West, and then they're also 3-3 against the spread, and 3-3 when it comes to the over and under as well too. So pretty average at best. I think that this game is going to be more of a defensive game tonight. I know that Nevada has a tendency of going over at home. But the thing is, though, tonight they're playing in a really tough game. And usually when tough games are provided for us in the Mountain West, they aren't barn burners. They're games that are usually like 24-21. So the under 53 is the logical play here, and that's exactly where I'm going with this one. So there it is with Air Force in Nevada tonight. This looks to be a really good game. All right, so we move forward, and let's go ahead and talk about the Washington State game, and pretty much I don't have a graphic for that one, so we got to come back to pan back to me. So pretty much we got plus 500 Zona, and then we have Wazoo minus 700 tonight. You have Zona coming in here 5-5 against the spread. They've covered their last 4 in a row after starting off they started off terrible this year, but they've covered their last 4 in a row, which is very good. And then they've also went under in 6 out of their 10 games. They're 0-3 straight up on the road, and they're only 1-2 against the spread on the road. But they've went over in 2 out of those 3 games on the road as well too. Straight up in the Pac-12, they're 1-6, 4-3 against the spread, and then they've went under in 4 out of the 7 games in the Pac-12 that they've played. So Arizona 1-9 has the good numbers for bettors, but that doesn't necessarily equate them to be, the team you want to back tonight. But when you look at Wazoo stats, they're 5-5, they're 3-7. They've went under 7 out of their 10 games this year. They're 3-2 straight up at home. They're 2-3 against the spread at home, and then they've went under in 3 out of their 5 games. They're 4-3 straight up, 5-2 against the spread, and 2-6 when it comes to the over and under in the Pac-12 as well too. So tonight, I feel like Arizona, since they've covered the last 4 in a row, this means that this team is trending upward. Now, the same thing can be said for Wazoo, who's been pretty good on the covering the last 5 games or so as well too. And as you know, they're 5-5, but they're really good in conference when it comes to covering the spread. And I think that tonight you got somewhat of a doppelganger, but I would be very perplexed not to give Zona a shot tonight. They're 1-9. They're a little bit more desperate. And I'm not saying they win the game, but I'm saying that they keep this game very close. And I think that we do have ourselves a good cover tonight with them and being in this spot. And it's being bet down right now as well, too. So there it is, Arizona and Washington State tonight in Pullman. And let's see how it shakes out. Now we move forward, and let's go ahead and get into this Memphis and Houston game. And now Memphis and Houston, they are playing for the right to be. They are literally playing for the right to be the team. They're playing for the right for who's going to play in the championship game in a few weeks. I think that Houston is playing lights out this year as well too. Like they're very good this year, to be honest with you. They lost 1 game this year, and that was to Texas Tech, and that was kind of like, you can go ahead and kind of write that one off because that's the first game of the season. Things like that happen. And from what I was saying before with Air Force and Nevada, it's a Mountain Division, West Division matchup. So pretty much Air Force would have to really go ahead and they would have to win this game tonight so they could stay in contention to get that title. But let me stay with the AAC, and in the AAC, you know that Houston got that monster win over SMU, who looked like they were going to be the team that could possibly take out Cincinnati. So now since Houston's sitting here in a position where they're not going to be able to play Cincinnati this year, but they're right behind them, and they're going to play them in the championship game, so they could still play the spoilers. So we'll see how it goes, but they're doing a bit better in conference right now. They're 7-zip, and Memphis right now, on the other hand, is a team that is going through a phase this year. They're actually 6 in conference this year, and they're 2-4 in conference play. So when I look at my notes on Memphis, they're 4-6 against the spread. They've went under in 6 out of their 10 games this year. They straight up on the road, they're 1-3 against the spread. They're 0-4. And then over under, they've went over 3 out of their 4 games on the road. Now, when it comes to the straight up and against the spread in conference, they're 2-4. And then when it comes to the over under, they're at a split at 3-3. So, Memphis is not the same team they were a few years back, who used to be scoring 40 points a game and could throw up 80 at any given time and things like that. It's not like that anymore. Now, Houston, on the other hand, 6-4 against the spread, 5. They've went over 5 out of their 10 games. They've went over in 5 out of their 10 games this year because they do have a push on one of them as well too. So yeah, they went over in 5 out of their 10 games as well too, and went under 4 times and have one push. Then they've also went 4-1 straight up at home. They're 2-3 against the spread at home, and then also they're 2-3 over and under at home as well too. So pretty much they have everything working out for themselves, and actually they're 5-0 at home. That early season game was on a neutral field. So pretty much that one is different. So they've actually had a neutral game. So they're 5-0 straight up at home, and then 2-3 against the spread at home. And actually, I would say, they would be 2-3 against the spread at home. And then they're also 2-3 over and under at home as well, too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And then they're 6-0 straight up in the AAC, 4-2 against the spread in the AAC. And then they've went over in 4 out of their 6 games this year as well, too. So this one right here is one that looks like it's going to be a barn burner, to be honest with you. So we're going to see how this one goes. We'll see how it shakes out, and we'll just move from there. Now I move on to a game that I really, really am keen on today. And I got my notes here, and the reason why we got a good old West Coast rivalry game between San Diego State and UNLV, the schools that are never forgotten, but they're not as big as the schools in the Pac-12, but they still are lit. So pretty much 2 of the best party schools in the nation going at it. San Diego State 5-5 against the spread, 9-1 on the season. They are have went under in 6 out of their 10 games this year as well too. They're 4-0 straight up on the road, 2-2 against the spread on the road, and they've went under in 3 out of their 4 games on the road as well too. Now in conference, they're 5-1 straight up, 2-4 against the spread, and they've went under in 5 out of their 6 games. UNLV coming into this game, winners of their first 2 games of the year, and I feel like they're getting more and more comfortable and more confident. And sometimes when a team gets like that at this point of the year, they're absolutely dangerous. It doesn't matter what their record is. They now they're confident. Now they've been winning. Now they're ready to go ahead and shake up the apple cart a little bit. So you have a team that's 6-4 against the spread. They're 5. They're split when it comes to over and unders on the season, 5-5. They're 1-4 straight up at home, 2-3 against the spread at home, and then they went under 3 out of their 5 of their games at home as well too. Now straight up in conference, they're 2-4, but against the spread, they're 4-2. And when you look at the over under, once again, that's an even split. So pretty much this team is in a good spot. They're going against the number 19 team in the nation. And I'm going to be bold enough to say this. This is going to be my dog of the day in college football. Literally, my dog of the weekend in college football. I'm taking UNLV with the plus 340 to get the big upset tonight at home in the Death Star versus San Diego State tonight with a crowd there. At least, hopefully, they can get at least 50 to 60, 70% of the crowd there. They've won 2 games in a row. San Diego State's a ranked team, and I would expect a lot of people from San Diego to be in Vegas this weekend to watch the Aztecs play the Rebels. So we'll see how this one goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but I am going to be bold here, and I'm going to take UNLV to win this game tonight at home and get themselves a big moment that could possibly change the fortunes of this program, because you would love to see UNLV actually be a program that's very feasible. You know what I mean? Other than a program that's just a doormat for most teams. So there it is. There it is. So pretty much that's going to be our CFB Friday Night Lights for you right there as well. And we gave you guys a great bevy of notes. So I'm pretty much backing up what I'm talking about. So with that, you guys go ahead and pretty much stay tuned. I'll be right back to you in the next few. When I get back, we'll be talking the state of the Lakers, the NBA, and we're going to be talking them tickets as well, too. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the PrimeTime Angles Live.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll have another in Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune in to Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, here we are. State of the Lakers. And right now, LeBron is a game time decision after being out for the last 2 weeks. It looks like that he possibly will be playing tonight. But you have to really wait to see how he feels once he goes ahead and warms up. Now, when I look at this, the Lakers have lost their last 3 out of 5, including their last two games in a row, losing by 18 to the Bulls and then losing by 7 to Milwaukee. So this team has been getting a little work, and also lost by 24 to Minnesota at home. But after getting a good win over a really good Miami Heat team. Now, when I look at it, the Lakers are averaging 109, Celtics are 107 on the season. Field goal percentage not that far apart. Lakers 45.46%, while the Celtics at 44%, but one's 10th and one's 22nd. Then when it comes to free throws, the Celtics are a bit better in that department. And when it comes down to the three-point percentage, the Lakers are a little bit better in that department. So pretty much when you look at this game, this is a very even type of game, but both these teams are kind of going through the same issues as well, too. Boston comes into this game 7-8. The Lakers are 8-8. Now, when you look at the Lakers in the month of November, the Lakers have actually went ahead and are right now 4-5 this month. So it's not as bad as it looks on the surface, because at one point the Lakers had lost 2 out of 3, then won 3 out of 4, then now have lost 2 in a row. So, it's an uneven month. And I would say this, that they're still trying to get to know each other. When I look at the schedule, the Lakers have 7 games left this month. They got Boston tonight. They have Detroit on Sunday. They got the Knicks on Tuesday. Then they got the next night with the Pacers. And then they're back in LA for a quick jump with Sacramento and and Detroit. Now this 4-game win. Now that's gonna. It looks like it's gonna be 5 road games for. Actually, yeah, 5 road games, 6 road games in this group as well too. So that's what we're looking at. They got I'm sorry, they got 7 games left, and they got 5 out of 7 on the road. Okay, so I think that tonight they need to start something big. This is a game. This is a winnable game for the Lakers because Boston did not start the season off well either. Boston will probably get better as the season progresses. And right now, I would say this. I would say to myself, when I see a team that's right now 5-4 on the month, that's pretty good. But when you see that they're 7-8 as well too, it's like, all right, well, you guys got some issues. But when I look at the rest of their schedule for this month, the only tough games they have left over for the month right now, when you look at it on paper, is tonight and on next Wednesday when they play Brooklyn. So, pretty much this is both these teams are very, very even. And this is going to be a game where you just have to pick a side and hope that everything works out for the best. But the Lakers, as I keep saying, they don't have to worry about everything right now. They have to just start being consistently good at winning. That's it. And right now, they do have 5 guys averaging double figures. And that's good that you bring in that Taylor Horton Tucker comes in and makes an immediate impact. Now we wait on Kendrick Nunn. We wait on Trevor Ariza, those players to come back because I know that they'll come in with a different mentality, a different feel. You know what I mean? And then you can start limiting time on certain players that aren't doing anything, man, in my opinion. So there it is. There it is. The Lakers tonight. Let's see how it goes. Game starts at 4:30 Pacific time, 7:30 Eastern time. The greatest rivalry in all of sports. Lakers versus the Celtics. I can't wait. All right. So we move on and let's go ahead and jump into the NBA Friday night. And in the NBA Friday night, we have ourselves some pretty good games. And I'm going to start off with this game right here, the Hornets and the Pacers. The Hornets and the Pacers come into this one, locking it up for, I think, for the second time this season. They opened up the season against each other. So pretty much tonight they get it on again. So pretty much the first time they met up, Charlotte won that game by a point. And so now we come back around, and once again, who's up or who's favored by a point? Charlotte. So when I look at this game tonight, you have a Pacers team 5-4 straight up in the month of November, 6-3 against the spread in November, and they've went under in 7 out of their 9 games this month as well too. The Hornets are 4-5 straight up in November and have won their last 4 in a row. So that's something that you have to go ahead and put into your notes as well too, that this team is coming in hot. Then you have them being 4-1 against the spread this month as well too. So pretty much they had one push, so they're pretty much even when it comes to the spread this month. And then when it comes to over under, they've went under in 5 out of the 9 games this month as well too. So when I look at this one, I will give the edge to the Hornets because they're coming in as the hotter team. But both teams are having a pretty decent month. But I will say this: the Pacers were on the same type of run. The Pacers covered like 5 games in a row. So they're kind of hot coming into this one as well, too, when it comes to, keeping things in front of them. So I think that this game is going to be another very close game, another really good game, but I got the Hornets winning this one slightly. And I think just because they got a hot hand and they're going to be back at home tonight where they've been playing their best basketball at. So there it is. There it is. Pacers at the Hornets. Let's see how it checks out. Let's see how it goes. All right. So we move on and we have ourselves the Thunder and the Bucks tonight. And you guys are going to be surprised when I give you guys the stats on the Thunder right now if you didn't already know. The Thunder, after starting the season off 1-5, 1-5, yes. They've won their last 5 out of 8 games to improve to 6-8. And against the spread this month, they've covered 6 out of their 8 games. But when it comes to the over/under, they've actually went under in 7 out of the 8 games, and they have a push. They haven't went over at one time this month. So that's something to go ahead and put into your notes as well too, because you might think that you could play it over in this game tonight, but you need to really look at this a little bit longer. Because the reason why I say this is because you have a Bucks team coming in here. You would think the Bucks would be, excellent, but they have a losing record. The Thunder have a losing record as well too. The Bucks are 4-4 this month. Are 3-5 against the spread, and they've went under in 6 out of their 8 games. So this one right here, you would probably say you should run to the under. But I think that what I'm looking at right here is a Thunder team that's playing much better basketball than they did to start the season off. And I'm looking at a Bucks team that kind of takes breaks against teams like the Thunder. So I think that the 12.5 points is a great value for backers on the Thunder. So I like the plus 12.5 tonight. I'm going to stick with the plus 12.5 tonight. Let's see how it shakes out. Let's see how it goes. But this should be a fun game because this is going to be an oversell of the Bucks, and it's going to wind up being kind of detrimental to Bucks fans, to Bucks backers tonight, from how I'm seeing this game setting up. So there it is. There it is. Now we move on, and let's go ahead and jump into the next game, which is going to be the Bulls and the Nuggets. The Bulls coming into this game plus 105. Nuggets are minus 125. Bulls 10-5 on the season. Nuggets are 9-6. Bulls are 5-4 against the spread and straight up this month. And then they've went under in 5 out of their 9 games this month as well too. The Nuggets 5-4 straight up this month. 3-6 against the spread this month, and then they've went over in 6 out of their 9 games. When I look at this one, I feel like this is going to be a good battle between some of the best players in the NBA, best young players in the NBA. And Jokic is still kind of a game time decision. He's having an issue with his wrist, and I haven't heard anything about anybody on the Bulls tonight. So this game will probably be a heavily bet on the Bulls side right before tip off. I think a lot of people are hopping on that Bulls bandwagon. I think that the Bulls could be good money tonight, but this is a good scoreboard watching game, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm dealing with the over under tonight in the spot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But Bulls at the Nuggets, one of the better games in the league tonight out of the 9 games that are going to be getting played tonight as well too. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, and we'll just rock from there. Now, we do have the Mavs and the Suns coming up right now in this next spot, Mavs Suns. And this one right here, these teams have seen each other a few times this year. But when I look at this situation, I say to myself that, you have a Mavs team that is kind of going to go through the motions a little bit because they don't have their best player right now. Luka is going to be out for a significant amount of time, not like the whole season, but he's not going to be back next week. So you have to bear down and know what's going on with the Mavericks right now. So, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people jump the gun and think that guys are still healthy when they're not. So when I look at everything that's going on with Dallas tonight, today, I see Dallas really trying to get, trying to just get people going tonight. That's really what I'm feeling like, and guys that aren't the stars on the team. So when I look at what's been going on this month, they've been decent. You know what I mean? They've went 5-3 this month straight up. And then when it comes down to the spread, they've actually when it comes down to the spread, they've actually been spread's been a little bit of an issue for them. 1-3. Then they were okay. 1-4, 2-4, 3-4, 4-4. They're 4-4 against the spread this month, so they have that working out for them. But now you have, the Suns, one of the hotter teams in the league right now. We I talked about them the other day. This team has actually won 9 games in a row this month, and if you include the last game in October, they've won 10 games in a row. But they kind of been feasting on teams that are not that good right now. Their best wins in in this stretch have been Atlanta, Portland, and Memphis. Everybody else is well below 500 in these groups. So the Suns playing really good basketball. They're keeping games really in check as well too. The under has been hitting a lot for the Suns this year. When I look at this game, this is once again another scoreboard watching game. So we're gonna see how this one shapes up. We're gonna see how it shakes out, but I think that this one will wind up being once again another pretty fun game. So we'll see how it goes, man. I think that we're in a good spot, and pretty much a lot of us really need to just understand that you know we're still early in the season. Teams that are really great right now could be teams that are going to be faltering later on in the season. So you don't wish that upon these teams, but you know anything can happen, brother. Anything can happen. So you know that's how it goes. That's how it goes. You know what I mean? So pretty much, I think to myself that we have ourselves a very fun situation that we can put ourselves into. So, I think this game should work out tonight, and that's what it is. That's what it's going to be. So, pretty much, I forgot my notes for this one. So, that's why I'm kind of blubbery for this one. So, pretty much, let's go ahead and talk about the Kings and the Raptors. This was going to be the nightcap. This is going to be the late game tonight. And when I look at this one, I see the Raptors coming in here plus 135. Kings are minus 160. Kings are not having a great month right now, and things aren't looking too good for my man Luke Walton. Now the Raptors are 3-6 against the spread and straight up this month, and this team did get off to a pretty good start to start the season. They were 4-3 to start the year, 3-6 this month. So 7-9, it makes a lot of sense. But this team has been doing really well against teams in their division, as I said yesterday. Then you have but they did lose last night still. And then you have this team going over in 6 out of their 9 games this month as well too. Kings coming in here 3-6 straight up, 4-5 against the spread this month, and then they went under in 5 out of their 9 games. As I was saying before, they kind of struggling right now. It's hard to really back that, but both these teams are coming in struggling a little bit as well too. So they're kind of, once again, two teams kind of that you just can't split apart. I don't think that the Kings should be a minus 160 favorite tonight. I think this should be more of a 105, 115 deal. But since they're going to give me some value tonight, I'm going to go ahead and roll the dice once again on the Raptors, who have been really good to me when it comes to dog bets this year as well, too. So there it is. There it is. We have ourselves pretty much our groups for tonight. And let me go ahead and get into my favorite subject, your favorite subject, talking tickets. And this is where we talking tickets at. All right. So tonight we have the CFB Friday Super High Five, first time all year. I'm going to go plus 15.5 with Southern Mississippi. I'm going to take the under 53 on the Air Force Nevada game. Then we're going to do plus 14.5 on Zona tonight. And then we're going to do the over 60 in the Memphis Houston game tonight. And then I'm going to go for the big enchilada. Give me UNLV plus 340. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. All right. So then we have ourselves the Super High Five tonight, 29-1. Hornets money line minus 120. Thunder plus 12.5 tonight. Over 208 in the Bulls and Nuggets game tonight. Under 211 with the Mavs and the Suns. And then the Raptors money line tonight plus 135 as the NBA dog of the day. So I thank you guys very much for tuning in today. Tomorrow I have you guys litty up because tomorrow I'm going to make sure that you guys are good to go. I'm going to have a lot of stuff out on the Twitter and on IG. Also, Horsing Around will be tomorrow as well, too, for Saturday's race card as well. And then you guys, Sunday, catch me on IG talking the NFL, NBA, and my college basketball pick six I'm going to put together for you guys as well, too. Or maybe I might do a little quick 10-piece for you guys. I don't know, but we'll see. Hopefully we got enough games on Sunday to cover that, because we do got a lot of tournaments this weekend as well, too. So be on the lookout, man. All we doing is just trying to cash them tickets, make some money, get that extra income. That's what it's all about. All right. So I'm going to see you guys Monday for this, though. Okay. And Jeff will be back with me as well, too. So pretty much you guys already know what time it is. You guys have a beautiful day and a beautiful weekend as well, too. You guys make sure to tune into the Bud Crawford Sean Porter fight tomorrow night as well, too, which is going to be on pay-per-view. I'm going to give you guys my pick right now. I think that the fight goes the distance, but Bud gets a unanimous decision, like a runaway decision against Sean Porter. I know Sean Porter is my dog. He's a good fighter. He's a dog when he fights, but I think that Bud is absolutely the best fighter in the world. Yeah, I said it. I feel he's even better than Canelo. And I know Canelo has a better resume or whatever, but we all know why I will put Bud Crawford over Canelo. Bud Crawford ain't never had to do extra things to, be who he is. So it is what it is at the end of the day, man. So pretty much this is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the Primetime Angles, live with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the Primetime Capper. If you got a hunch, bet a bunch. Always bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.